passionate leader. Because leadership without passion is just a title.
Meeting. We got a collapse in the garage. Get the squad back living in here. We got an IV gone of a firefighter. It's on island urgent. Transmit a second off.
Welcome back to the Passionate Leader Podcast, where we talk leadership, culture, and the people driving the force behind it. Today's guest is someone who's been all in the fire service since most kids were still learning out how to ride bikes. Today, we're going to talk with Deputy Chief Bob Glidden of the Proctorsville, Vermont Fire Department. Bob's been part of the PFD for 30 years, and you heard me right, I said 30 years. He started as a junior firefighter at just the ripe old age of 12 and has held every rank except chief. He's now serving as a deputy chief and the head of the EMS, leading from the front with passion for service and a serious commitment to his people. He's a fourth-generation firefighter and a proud husband of 19 years to his wife, Rhiannon, and dad of two boys, ages 17 and 14. Outside of the firehouse, you'll find him bass fishing, deer hunting, and tearing up the trails in his side-by-side, or watching anything that involves ice hockey. One of Bob's proudest achievements? Well, that's building the Proctorsville Fire Department into the respected, well-staffed department that it is today. While departments nationwide are battling staffing shortages, Bob's leadership has helped buck that trend. PFD runs strong with 27 members and consistently sees turnout on every call. Because as Bob puts it, when you take care of your people, they take care of the rest. He's also spent over a decade running the PFD Junior Fire Program, watching some of its cadets even earn the top honors in the state. And in 2015, his hard work earned him the Myra Craft Community MVP Award from the New England Patriots. This is a conversation about legacy, leadership, and what happens when you pour your heart and soul into people into the fire service. Let's get to it. Welcome to the show, bud. How are you?
Good. How are you, man? Thanks for having me on.
No, absolutely honored. It's just so fun. This is such a fun thing to do. It honestly takes my breath away. So, I mean, is there anything in that intro that I missed or that I, need to kind of clean up?
No, I think you pretty much nailed it.
Awesome, dude. It's I got a lot of good help behind the scenes. So I mean, let's start at the beginning. Obviously through, family, but what drew you to the fire service at 12 and what's kept the fire burning for 30 years?
What brought me in, I think probably like every kid, when they're young, they see the fire trucks and they're like, wow, it intrigues them, it really piques their interest. For me, I obviously, got that at a really young age. Grew up going to the firehouse, saw my great-grandfather, my grandfather, my dad, my uncles, some of my cousins. And it just, it's who we are as a Glidden. You know what I mean? It's just ingrained in us. And it was just not a question for me. When I turned 12, I was ready and let's just do it. It's been a pretty wild ride. It's obviously, like anything, it's had its ups and downs. But what really keeps me going is it's the community. It's the need for this. It's my people, and watching them succeed. That's really what it is to me. It's just, it's the pride of the department. It's just, just being out there and doing what the community needs.
No, that's now, did you guys have a junior program when you were 12 or was it kind of something that you were able to get into?
So they've always really kind of had a junior program per se. It never really became a program until probably after 2002. The whole fire service has changed over the last 30 years and more. A lot of the volunteer firehouses was kind of like the buddies club. You show up and you might train, but you're definitely going to shoot the breeze,
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how it was. We had a lot of good things happening, but I was the only junior at the time. So I was just going in, hanging out with the guys. Most of them knew me already because I was, the chief's son, so that's kind of how it was. When I became 18, graduated from high school, I said to my dad, I was like, I want something different for this. I said, there's so much potential here. I think it was right around the time that you were getting into it. The Chester program, the Explorer program was coming out. And that kind of really piqued my interest. And I was like, man, why can't we do that here? We already take kids at 12. Let's start a program. I was already in Fire One, already had a bunch of, skills. So I said, Chief, let me do this. And the rest of the group was like, yeah, let's try it and see what happens. and it's blown up to be this huge thing. I mean, we have 10 kids.
Oh,
They're
man.
showing up all the time.
Yep.
Some of them are running calls now. They're 16, 17, becoming firefighters, moving out into the military, and just preparing these kids for life,
Mm.
and that's kind of how it's evolved.
Nah, dude, it's these junior programs are honestly what I think still is helping push talent into the fire service, truthfully. So being a fourth generation firefighter, what kind of example did your family set for you, and how did you shape that, or how did it shape your path?
It's I guess always putting the community first. Really, I mean, that's our job. Is not about us. It's about the people we're trying to help, right?
Nah,
And
yeah,
that's kind of always just stuck with me. Watching my dad always do that. And just kind of seeing the reaction from the people that they're helping.
mm,
That's really that's what got me going.
I love it. So when you look back in your early years in the fire service, what moments stand out as game changers that kind of set the tone for your career?
Oh, geez, taking me back a little bit. There's lots of things. Just different trainings, getting into the fire academy,
Yep,
meeting different people, going to the Southern Vermont Regional Fire School. There's a guy, he really stands out to me, Mike Barrett. He's a Rutland City firefighter, but he taught this RIT class for us, and it was kind of really, at least coming out to our area when I was starting to get into these trainings. And Mike just had so much passion for it, and it was all about, you know, the firefighters that we've lost, and
mm,
keeping their memories alive, and how do we learn from that, and how do we continue to evolve, and that is kind of what's really shaped me. I mean, we run helmet cameras on our some of our people now. We run a GoPro on our trucks, and we're always trying to continuously make ourselves better, and it's not always, well, we lost somebody here, so how can we fix this? No, let's fix this before we lose
yep,
somebody.
exactly. I
You
love
know
it.
what I mean? So, but it's that constant drive to get better and learn. And that's Mike Barrett really sticks out to me in that regard. Phenomenal trainer, and just had so much pride and passion. And that's, you feed off that. If you really want to do this stuff, you feed off that.
Now, was there any pushback when you guys got the GoPros to put on your helmets or anything like that, or no?
Not really. I mean, there was a little kind of, well, we got to be real careful how we use it. Well, yeah,
Sure.
obviously.
Yeah.
So the first thing we did was we drafted up a policy,
Good.
you
Yep.
know, on what was going to be showed, what wasn't going to be shown. Obviously, we're going to use it all for training. It's going to stay in house because we're going to see some things that are not,
Of course.
you don't want to show that,
Sure.
Um, so that's kind of how we do it. And then it really evolved. Social media started coming around, right? And it's
Mm,
like, hey, we can use this for like recruitment, So then we started, but not even just recruitment, but community awareness. The community has no idea what you do until you show up,
yeah.
right? So to start showing them where we can, what we're doing, it's just generated so much positivity. The members love it. The videos that I've been making since I think 2008,
Mm.
it's just the feedback there is incredible.
I mean,
And
dude,
you
who,
just,
who who doesn't like a killer hype video, right? I mean, that's
yeah, no kidding.
yeah. It's if it doesn't keep you passionate, you need to get out. It's
Oh,
that simple.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, we've had I mean, we've seen some administration change on my department, but it's a lot of it was the, what is it we're gonna see? And it's sometimes it's just like, let us try. And if it sucks and
Yep.
it's a horrible idea, then let's, we delete all the footage. But honestly, it's again, it's training things. We can, hey
Yeah,
man, careful when you took that corner. Or honestly, what if somebody goes and, sideswipes a mailbox and it's like, well, yeah, you kind of got a little too close to the side of the road, or heaven forbid somebody hits us head on. It can be, evidence to collect for
absolutely.
to show things happen. But dude, I love everything you guys do. I mean, and obviously it's working
Yeah.
because you have this wealth in town. I don't know what it
Well,
is
the
that.
the department got me a specific laptop for this stuff,
Oh, I
right?
love it. Yep.
And it's the only laptop that this stuff goes on. Like, I
Yep.
100% manage these SD cards and all that stuff. When they come out of a camera, it's in my hands. It doesn't go to anybody else's computer.
Yep.
And then we'll use it for trainings and stuff. As far as making videos and what we show to the public, I just follow the SOG that we wrote,
Sure.
and it works. right? So
Yeah.
that's pretty much how it's gone. I've had several departments in the area ask about it. Some have developed, a policy on it.
Mm.
Uh, None of them use it like we do. I
No,
haven't seen anybody use it like that. And it's been twofold, man. If these other departments can buy in, it's going to be a huge benefit for them. It really is.
no, and I think you actually hit something real strong as far as our residents don't know what we do, and they do a lot of generalized assumptions when it comes to approving the purchase of apparatus or budgets and
Hmm.
stuff like that. And if we have these tools that can be like, dude, this is why we need to do what we need to do, or this is the kind of stuff that we see. It's, I mean, like I said, man, you're onto something. And honestly, one way to look at it is if a department is coming and reaching out to you to try to get your SOP and stuff to kind of if they're trying to steal from you, that's actually that's more of a
It's pretty rewarding,
it should make
actually.
you blush. Yep.
You're doing something right, right?
Yeah,
Um,
it's an amazing sign. Yep.
but the thing is you always just don't be so stuck on it that we got this, right? Be prepared to evolve it too, because things are going to change.
Yeah, no, dude, I love it. What traits do you look for from your juniors that that kind of tell you, this kid's got it?
Uh, well, they come into the firehouse with a good attitude.
Yep.
They take direction well. They can handle some criticism, right? In the fire service, there's going to be criticism, right? So we try to get the kids into everything. I don't want them to have any surprises, right? Let's let them know what they're going into. Um, so you look for that, and then just work ethic,
Hmm.
strong work ethic, paying attention to detail, and taking pride in what they do.
Yeah.
you know
Yep.
and that is, so far, it's worked out well. We pick a junior captain and we pick a junior lieutenant, and we those are typically our older kids because they've been with
Sure.
us the longest and
Yep.
they're the most skilled. But not every kid gets that opportunity, right? It's the
Mm.
ones that show those leadership skills, and then they're expected to lead, and run a drill tonight, train these kids, right? How to do this, so
Love it.
let's see you, right? Give them the opportunities to succeed, and let them prove themselves.
No, but you hit the nail on the head. I just had a long conversation with somebody on TikTok about, letting guys run the trainings and stuff because I mean, you know what you're doing. I know what I'm doing. All of our officers generally know what they're doing. But if we, and Matt hit it during my last episode, if we don't get out of the way and really let people sort of run these calls and these trainings, they're never going to learn. And
100%.
there will be a day when we're not either not there anymore or, I mean, it goes without saying we don't know when our clock is up, so we want to
Not
make
at
sure
all.
people are ready. But no, this I love it. What is kind of jumping around a little bit because like my mouse hit the wrong freaking question. What are some early leadership lessons you learned the hard way?
Slowing down, taking your time. I think I saw one of your posts the other day, and admitting your mistakes is
Yep.
huge, and that's going to gain tons of respect from your people. Because you're human just like they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like slowing down, looking at the big picture, making sure you communicate that you're on scene, you're in command, you've got this, you're clearing the scene, you're just taking the time to hit your bases. You know what I mean? Slowing down, taking the overall picture. That's
Yep.
that's the big thing, and I remember one call real young. I wasn't quite a lieutenant yet. But I ended up the most experienced guy on the truck, and ended up being in command of a backwoods rescue call.
Mm.
And I'm telling you, that was probably one of the most stressful things in my life. Um, but being able to sit down after that call, talk to the mutual aid chief that came in, and the leadership that he gave, and learn from that. I mean, that's huge.
Yes.
Just slowing down. That's probably one of the bigger things early on.
Dude, it takes. I mean, so it's funny because the TikTok that we had there was a building fire and the guy looked at me, dude. He goes, "Man, I love your videos, but maybe wear your hood next time." And I'm like,
Yeah,
"Son of a bitch, man, you got me." Because my hood right
yeah,
there, right around my throat pipe. It was on my neck, but it wasn't over
yeah,
my
yeah,
head. And I'm like, "It happens.
yeah.
It freaking happens." But yeah, I mean, humility is, but dude, slowing down. Oh, 100%. Is that God? I love it. Um, So back to the juniors. Now that I can finally get on the right track of questions, what traits? Sorry, have there ever been any juniors that kind of surprised you? Like, they kind of set out that I don't know if this kid's gonna get it, and they sort of blew your socks off, or vice versa. It could go the other way around. Like, how do you kind of handle that sort of stuff?
Um, I mean, I've had, I guess I wouldn't say they blew my socks off. They usually have lived up to the expectations. You know what I mean? It's
Yep.
like this kid's kind of got it, but there's been some changes that they made, decisions that they made. We actually just had this one girl. She's been with us since she was 12.
Yep.
Awesome kid, got the drive, really, really into it. And she graduated high school and decided she's going to go to the military. And I was like, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Super proud, super proud. But it surprised me. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought
Sure.
she was going to kind of maybe do the medical field or, get into the full-time fire service. But she still credits time at the firehouse to that military direction. You know what
Sure.
I mean? You know how they
Yeah.
can relate.
Yeah.
And she's really proud of what she's done at the firehouse, and she thinks it's well prepared her. Um, and she was worried, kind of, geez, are you guys going to be disappointed in me? And
Mm.
it's like, you guys have to understand that you know, this isn't always everyone's choice to do this,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, I'm super proud of her. She put the time in, she did the work, she's got the credentials,
Yep.
she can do this. Uh, but she stepped up and went to our military, and you
Yeah.
can't be any more proud than that either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just that kind of different things like that. I've had a few kids do that. One of them went off to be a medic in the military. That stuff's really cool. I've had some kids stay on, stay in the fire service, become full-time EMTs, that kind of stuff. It's super rewarding. Just see these kids grow up and take these life experiences with them, rather or not they stay in the firehouse. You know what I
Sure.
mean?
Yeah.
And if they go to another firehouse somewhere else, that's great too.
Ah, I
It's
love it.
just preparing them for this.
Yeah, and it, but I mean, so the way you can look at it from this standpoint is, had she gone in the fire service, she was only going to look at the reach of what she could do. Look at us today, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we're two local Vermont boys who are now going to be on a podcast, and as soon as I can get this thing edited and out, that's going to be worldwide. And
Yes.
she, instead of being where and she could help in it's saying fire department here or there, she's gonna be serving our country. She's
Oh,
gonna she's gonna
absolutely.
help enrich millions of people's lives. Like
Yep. Yep.
that's dude, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. I love it.
I know,
I
I know, it's
love it. I
awesome.
love it.
It's
No,
cool, man. We take a lot of pride in that stuff,
yeah.
and
Yep.
we got flags on our trucks and stuff. We've got some members in our department that are on the military that, have been deployed and stuff. So, it's one of those honorable things to do. We take a lot of pride in that.
No, that's it's so awesome. Um, what so far has been the biggest shift that you've seen in how young people respond to mentorship now as compared to when you started?
Well, let's see. Well, you got to fight with the cell phone.
Yes. Nope, that's
That's
true.
that's the biggest thing is being able to get them to respond to you and not their phone. When we get them at the firehouse, we have them for a couple hours, and that's, I guess that's probably the biggest challenge. So our thing is really trying to keep them engaged, keep them busy, keep them moving,
Mm,
right?
yep.
Keep them in their gear where their phones are in their pockets, right? Keep them in their gear,
Sure.
keep them moving,
Yeah.
but that's what the kids want to be too, right? Every kid thinks it's cool to put fire gear on.
Oh yeah.
So let's put them in it. Let's show them how it works. Let's put them in an SCBA. Let's teach them the ropes, you know?
Yep.
And then they go off, and I got one kid that's he's 18 now. I keep calling him a kid, but I've watched these guys grow up. He's fighting fires with us.
Oh,
He's
I
doing
love
the
it.
work now. It's
Yep.
incredible. It's so rewarding to, you know, I take this young man into a fire now, and teach him a little more.
Sure.
It's awesome.
Ah, but I mean, you're spot on. I just did New Hampshire's version of the Cadet Academy up
Yep.
here in the state, and it's a strict no cell phone policy, and it's tough because obviously as the staff and people are involved, I mean, we all have our phones with us because we're taking
Oh
pictures,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and I'm like, hey, no phone for you, but here's
yeah, yeah.
mine, like.
But
But it is it's my first year I've done it. Dude, it's so rewarding. It to see the kids go from, first couple of days, especially the first year cadets, it's shaky, they're a little
Yeah.
nervous, and by the time they're ready to leave, it's tears of they don't want to leave. And it
Yeah.
to be able to have in just a week of time to influence them is
Yeah, and I mean, that's the
ah
thing. You're making that progress in a week, right? Now think of having a
mm.
kid, from 12 years old until he's 17.
Oh dude, it
You know what I mean?
100%.
You just
Yeah.
you impact them so much, and it's not more boys than girls either. I mean,
Yep.
we are right down the middle right now. I've got girls, I got boys. I've had girls get the State Fire Cadet Academy of the Year award. I've had boys get it.
Yeah.
It's just
Yep.
it's incredible, and it doesn't matter if they're male or female. If they come to our firehouse, we're putting the time in. You know.
No, I love it. Yeah, we it's just so much, man. There's just so you're what I love, man, is if the listeners have not picked up on this yet, is you are an energetic son of a bitch. I fucking love it. So by leading the junior program for over a decade, what really made you want to take it on, and how have you kind of helped evolve that over the years?
Well, what really wanted me to take it on was I wanted more when I was a junior. You know what I mean? Most of the kids, if they came in and they had what I had as a junior, they probably wouldn't have stayed. You know what I mean? I had to try to become one of the guys and just kind of fit in, and there wasn't specific training for the kids. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I didn't have other kids to grab a hose line with and learn how to work. I had to go try to this with grown men. So it was a lot different for me. And I guess that's probably really what drove me to do it
Mm,
was I wanted there's more kids that want to do this, and let's give them the opportunity.
sure,
You know,
sure.
I don't think I really realized what kind of impact it was going to have at the time. Um, but I mean, it's 100% worth it.
Dude. Now, have you gotten any to the point now where some of your juniors have become officers on the fire department itself yet?
We haven't gotten there yet. I suspect that it's coming.
Love it.
It's coming.
Uh,
A lot of the folks we have, they stick around for a while.
sure.
We don't have a high turnover, so that's really, really good. Almost all of our officers are 20-year members.
Mm,
I've got firefighters that are 20-year members now too. You know what I mean? So it's
yeah.
not just, it's not we got all these officers and nothing else. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? We've got a blend of everything, you know.
Oh, dude, I love it. Let me see where I go before I lose. Do 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 do. Um, what are some of the most meaningful moments you've experienced watching your junior succeed? And we kind of touched it a little bit, but your cadets earning the high state honors.
Yeah, that's huge. That's definitely huge. Attending the academy graduation for the kids, uh, watching their companies, get the company of the week, or just watching them and seeing their smiles on their face, and asking them if they learned stuff. Oh yeah, we learned so much, but you guys had us so prepared.
Awesome.
That's
Love it.
rewarding, right? They go
Yep.
up there and they go in with all these kids they've never met, and they are super confident.
Yes.
Right. They know they got this. I mean, we're basically giving these kids Fire One for year after year after year. We're running them through everything we can run them through in a controlled atmosphere. But we don't keep them away from the rescue tools. We don't keep them away from the SCBA. You know, if their ability they can wear it, they're gonna try it. And if it's not for them, that's fine. We're gonna focus on something else for them. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. What are some of the small day-to-day things you do to keep building the connection and the trust with the juniors?
Talk to them. Communication when they come in. Hey, how you guys doing? Their parents will come in sometimes, and just being there for them,
Mm,
Um, some of the kids, like my son's a junior, and some of the kids he's good friends with. So a few of those kids I get to know a little bit more. They come to the house,
mm.
they hang out here, um, but it's just it's communicating with them, treating them like they're people. you
Yep.
know they're not just stupid kids, you
No.
know?
Yeah, for
They
sure.
they're smart kids, they know what they're doing, and if you put the time and effort in, they're gonna surprise you,
Yeah.
you know?
So here's one of the ones I was actually super stoked to see come up. What advice would you give a department that is looking to start a junior program?
Do it.
There it
Do it.
is.
I
Yep.
mean, there's not much else to it. I mean, and anybody can reach out to me. It's another one of those things where we've had a neighboring department reach out. Hey, how do you guys do it?
Yeah.
How do you get all these kids in here? How do you have them trained so well? Right. Well, we wrote an SOG program. This is how the kids are. This is how they're going to function here. Um, and it's all the way up through. When a kid turns 16, if they've been with us for at least a year, which most of them have, they start at 12. But when they turn 16, we test them. They're going to get a 25 question test. They're going to have a 5 station practical test. They pass that with the uh, junior advisor's approval, which is now Captain Seth Perry,
Hmm.
and the advisor, which is myself now, and chief's approval, and these kids' parents' approval. They can start going on calls. And that's because of the standard we've held them to, right? They don't just get to hop on the truck and go. No, you've got to prove to me that you know how to change that air bottle on my back because I need a new tank.
Mm.
You've got to prove to me you know where all the tools are on the truck, how they operate. Not because they're operating them, but just because they have to understand, if I go to a car wreck, you need to bring me tools that are specific for vehicle extrication. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
of course.
it's not the kid just hops on the truck and goes. They get some training. And we've taken them mutual aid calls with us, and the uh the compliments you get from the other fire chiefs. Wow, dude, those you had those two juniors show up. They haven't stopped moving the whole time we've been here. They are doing stuff. They're awesome, great attitudes. It's just you guys could have this too.
Right?
You could have this too. But the big thing is having somebody to lead the program, you
Yes.
know?
Yep.
You've gotta have that person that the parents can go to, the kids can go to, and just communicate with them all the time. Make them part of it,
Mm.
right? And that's the biggest thing. We try to give everybody some ownership, If you come to this firehouse and you join and you're a junior, it's your firehouse too, right?
Mm.
Take care of it. It's that ownership, right?
Yep.
So it's just worked out.
All right, leaders. Well, that's where we're going to hit pause for now. Bob Glidden was just starting to heat up, and I promise you it gets deeper. We talk leadership misfires, culture change, and how to make the fire service better. Part 2 drops in a couple of weeks. Please stick around. Don't sleep on it. And until then, as always, lead with passion, serve with humility, and leave no room for bottom feeders. Till next time, guys.